Hi, Castellan Compton. In 18 years of service to the Negation Empire, you've never disappointed me. So why start now? Give me one good reason not to execute you after what you did today.
Because you're not stupid, General Chrysor. Because once you hear me out, you'll understand that I am not the one at fault here. And then you're gonna help me stop him. The human, I mean. Kaine! Sir, I knew when I came here that Emperor Charon had a personal interest in this facility, and with good reason. We have in captivity some of the enemy's Class 1 technical assets. Beings who can channel cosmic energies the way you do, sir.
And yet you fixate on this human. He has no such power.
No, but he can marshal those who do. And in its own way, that's even worse. Bear with me and I'll explain. Phase 1 began with tactical assets, and xenospecies snatched from all across their galaxy. They woke up with no idea how they got here. We also included a control group of ordinary humans as a benchmark for our data. We watched from the observation blind to see what they do. Mostly, they just turned their abilities against each other. But they ran into serious problems accessing the energies on this side of the barrier. And their rate of backfire here was catastrophic.
I know all about this, Compton. I've read your reports. Get to the point.
The point is, using their special abilities was too risky. They were scared. They wanted some answers. And the one with the best idea of what was really going on was prisoner Obregon Kaine. I have to hand it to him. He did his recon, formed a battle plan with the intel he gathered, and rallied the others with his suspicions.
This is why you jumped the gun on Phase 2? Because he had suspicions?
Sir, our position was compromised. They were going to march on the observation blind. Don't you see what I'm telling you? It wasn't one of the big guns who forced my hand. It wasn't one of their would-be gods, the first, or even one of the marked ones who made me bring them into the prison camp ahead of schedule. It was Kaine, and he was just getting started.
Take your places and shut your mouths! Your sorry little lives now belong to the Negation Imperium! You don't speak, you don't eat, you don't sleep, you don't die without my permission! My name is Compton. This maximum security facility is under my command. Each morning you will report to this arena for roll call. First meal will be consumed in the mess hall. Exercise period will take place in the central yard.
Hobby.
Each day, some of you will be selected for testing. These tests will... Prisoner Everly, what do you think you are doing?
Everly, why? Hush, Hobby. We're going home. These others you brought here for your amusement. Do with them what you will. But you and I will now speak privately.
At the onset of Phase 1, this prisoner was our primary focus. Evanly of the First, a race equivalent to our Lawbreakers. We weren't sure why she alone maintained her full abilities while the others could not. Her secret, of course, was prisoner Hobby, one of the marked ones I mentioned in my first report.
You're pretty much almighty where you come from, right?
The First kindled the stars and set the planet spinning. Ours is the power and the glory. Do not question my divinity. Consider it a blessing that I show any interest in you.
The Negation already has a guy. We don't need another.
Those with the mark manifest very specific talents. Javi, for example, doesn't appear to wield power himself, but he can amplify the abilities of whomever he touches. We're currently trying to determine why his mark works, while so many are scrambled. Maybe it's because it works for others.
Guards, separate them. Throw the male in solitary. What was it? Oh yes, your daily tests. Some are physical, some are cognitive. All of them can kill you. Refuse to participate or break the rules, and you will be executed. Now go and eat hearty. You'll need your strength.
With Evenly neutralized, there were still others to whom Kaine might turn. The Saurian female, for example, with her strength, claws, and venom.
This is a crime against nature.
Or Prisoner Iris, who is half human and half first. And then there's Prisoner Corin, who appears to be operating at, less than full effectiveness because she misunderstands her situation. See, she thinks this is all a bad dream, that she's really sleeping in a stasis tube under the sea along with the rest of her kind. The inmates just think she's crazy. I kept Kaine under constant surveillance, wondering which of the inmates he'd recruit for the inevitable jailbreak scheme.
Look at her, Mr. Kaine. Can you believe what that witch tried to pull at roll call? Evenly nearly hurt my little girl with that stunt. How can those bootlickers still stand by her?
Zyda, I want you to do me a favor. I want you to stay away from me.
But, Mr. Kaine, I thought...
That we were friends? That I actually care if that kid lives through this? Don't question me. Just keep your distance. When the time is right, I'll let you know. Right now, I'm not safe to be with. Understand?
Obregon Kaine. I can't believe that you're here. You don't recognize me? Come on, we're birds of a feather. Maybe they never gave you vid privileges, but you must have heard of Mercer Drake. You know, Scourge of the Skies, most wanted man in the Kazraz system. And you! Man, who hasn't heard of you back at home when you...
That was a lifetime ago, Mr. Drake. I'll thank you to leave my past where it belongs, behind me. Are we clear on this?
Crystal.
That was when I knew for sure that Kaine is a danger to all of us. Prisoner Drake has shown the highest power levels of any marked one here, and yet...
Yes, the marked ones. Have you cracked the mystery of how they got these markings? Can you tell me how they work? Why they each seem to manifest different abilities? Can you explain why we have nothing like them on this side of the barrier? No, of course not! It was only your primary mission, after all! Instead, you waste my time with a personal vendetta against the least of the rats in your cage. I'm through humoring you, Compton. Tell me now, how did you manage to call down the wrath of the Emperor himself?
It was during today's testing period. I've learned a lot about our prisoners from these tests. The limits of their strength, speed, and agility. Their intelligence and problem-solving skills. Their ability to endure pain. Today, I pitted Kaine, the Saurian, and another prisoner against 3 Athranian scout warriors. The rules of the exercise were clear. This was a race. First one to exit the arena would get to live.
And just what did you expect to learn from this mismatch?
That's not blood, is it?
It's venom, rat boy.
Right away, I learned 2 facts, sir. 1, Saurian venom is sloppy. 2, it's devastating to the Athranian nervous system. Both facts work to Kaine's advantage. The race was his to win.
Help me!
So why? Why did he throw away his chance?
Prisoner Kaine, you are in violation of the rules. You were told not to cooperate, or didn't you pay attention?
You tell us not to work together, and you think I'm not paying attention? Come on! Haven't you learned anything from us?
Bad move.
So, You think you can score points with the inmates at my What? What's so funny?
Well, nothing. It's just, well, surprising. After all this time to find out that you're, you know...
That I'm what? Kaine! You're all nothing compared to me! You think your grand gestures make any difference? You think you're saving lives? You're nothing!
Bohica.
You're done.
Old. Stay your hand, High Castellan. This one's life is not to be wasted. This one interests me. He's not to be destroyed merely to satisfy your anger. Let the experiment continue. If he should fall in some test or succumb to an accident, so be it. But know that I am watching.
And then he was gone.
10,000 years I've served him, conquered a universe for him. But I have never known Emperor Charon, blessed be his name, to intercede like this. All for something as worthless as your pride? I'd end you myself right now, but you were right about one thing, Compton. I am not stupid. The Emperor left you at your post. Far be it from me to question his wisdom. Carry on, and remember his words well. End transmission.
Oh, I remember them precisely. Let the experiment continue. If he should fall in some test, or succumb to an accident, so be